Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Star Tarot by Kathy McLeland. There's Kathy's website, kathymcleland.com. So there's the spelling if you want to see how it's spelled. Feel free to check that out, of course. Supportive Oracle Cards, a Chakra Wisdom Oracle Cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen Raish Baskin. There's a spelling of their names. There's a couple websites in the back here. ToriHartman.com, of course. WatkinsPublishing.co.uk or WatkinsPublishing.com, which is down over here somewhere, I think. Feel free to freeze frame and do as you wish if you want to check that out. Okay, what do we have for Virgo? Okay, let's get the other. I'm getting kind of excited, but I'm trying to. I don't know why I'm like, let's keep it together. Ooh, okay, this looks like it's really good. Let's get a couple more out. Much better than expected is what I'm getting. This card is at the bottom. I sometimes wince when I see this because it basically means this is going exactly how it should. It's going really well. This doesn't have to be like a soulmate connection. I'm also one of those people, like, a lot of times kindred soul or people from the soul family are mistaken as the soulmate connection. Just to be fair, sometimes this talks about a kindred soul, not just a soulmate connection. Just to be fair. So, but this is like one of those situations where this is going well and goes even better. There's a moment where it gets a little bit choppy, is what I'm thinking. Okay, so you're starting off with this Nine of Pentacles. No, that's Nine of Cups, right? Yeah. We don't have the Nine of Pentacles out here, but we do have some really good Pentacle cards coming in, which is a great thing for Virgo. When I feel this, I feel like I'm very comfortable in where I'm standing. Sometimes this is the single card. It doesn't have to be the single card, but if you're in a relationship or you're in a group, it feels like where I'm standing, what I'm contributing, I'm very comfortable and happy with. I feel like I'm in control of what I'm doing and how I add in. Very strong sense of self, but very like appreciated at the same time is kind of how I feel about this one. So you're starting off in a very good place. And you're also looking at what's going on around you. Something's building. Something's getting built. I feel like something's getting built with this. There are some changes coming forward. And there may be some nervous energy around this, kind of like, all right, there are some changes coming in. I'm not really sure if this is going to go where I want it to, but I just got to kind of watch how it plays out. Once in a while, there's these left turns. Just keeping an eye open for it. There may be a little bit of nervous energy with this. It doesn't feel like it's that bad for you, though. Kind of like you might be just emotionally acknowledging that there could be an issue and just staying ready for it, but it does seem like things are going in the right direction. It's just kind of like not counting your eggs before they're hatched or your chickens before they're hatched. You know how that goes. The environment, it's going really well. Everything seems to be matching up well. I feel like I just want to be sure that I'm not being overconfident. I feel like that might be what's on your side. Like, I don't want to be overconfident. Looks great. I just don't want to be a fool about it. I just want to like keep my eye on things, do my best to help it go the right direction, but kind of keep a realistic look on the whole situation. I think this is where it gets a little bit choppy because there's some balance, there's some give and take going on here, which you seem to be like, yeah, well, that's going to happen. It's just, where does that give and take lead us to? How much give and take are we having here? Because there is some balancing out. Give a little bit of this, get a little bit of that. And it's kind of like where you're standing, you're like, this can be fair, this can be good. That does need to happen to some degree, but exactly what are we giving up and what are we getting for it? It's kind of like if we're just trading bubblegum, to you it's kind of like, well, if it's just bubblegum, like, it's kind of like, does that really even matter? But if we're like doing this, like, you know, I'll pick you up from work today if you drop me off to work tomorrow, that's give and take, you know. stuff like that. It's kind of like, well, how impactful is it? It's kind of like, if we look at both those examples, with the gum, you'd still end up with gum anyway, and it's just gum. Who cares? It doesn't last long enough to really worry about. But if it's like taking somebody, or picking somebody up from work to somebody taking you, it's kind of like, well, I was going to end up at work either way. It does really help my life because of this situation or that situation. So this is going to add in good, but either way, it's going to end up with the same result. I'm still going to be at work the next day, so it's good. And I feel like this is how you're kind of like, long-term, is there long-term issues? Is this short-term benefit? Long-term stays the same? How is this really balancing out? You're very, very careful and cautious, and just kind of like, as long as nothing with the outcome, it gets messed up, we can do a lot of negotiating as long as it's, not creating damage, long-term damage. It's almost kind of like, okay, I can pick you up today if you take me in tomorrow. It's kind of like, but I don't want to live that way. If that's a temporary situation, okay, that's a good negotiation because I don't want to live that way. Because I feel like that's a lot of the give and take. A lot of the give and take is temporary. I think that's why we're using those analogies, because I'm like, what does that matter? But I'm getting like, there's a lot of things coming in, and it's kind of like, oh, I have to pick you up, and then you're going to drop me off. How long do we have to do that for? Oh, just a couple days this week. Okay, while your car is being done, or while my car is being taken care of, or whatever's going on. It's a very short thing. I can do that. The week will come and go before you know it. It's not a big deal. It's short-term give and take. Okay. Short-term. More information coming in. There's something that needs to upgrade in this situation. Whoever or what, like if it's a work situation, this may be your boss or somebody at the work situation. It doesn't have to be a boss. If it's a work situation, I feel like you'll know who you have to deal with. Somebody needs something from you. So they're coming forward with very direct, very meaningful conversation. Communication, conversation, When you see this Ace of Swords come in, something very direct, to the point. You know what, Virgo? I need this to work out, and you could help. But this is also that give and take. This is your moment. Oh, this is your moment. They need something from you. This is your moment to say what you need from them or you want from them. This is your turn. This is your opportunity for upgrade. Don't get left behind. Don't get left out. Don't just do. See, this is why this is a challenge card. There's small, meaningless ones coming in and out, but there's one where somebody's like, you know what, Virgo, I need this from you. And if you can do this, if you can commit to this, this would make this situation much better. Know your value, know your worth, know that you should have your fair share too. You have to ask for what you want, because you're very realistic. Most Virgos I know, very realistic. You're not going to ask for somebody bakes you a cake. You're not going to be like, well, I'd like $1 million, please. That's typically not Virgo. But like somebody bakes you a cake, or say they're like, well, there's a couple things coming forward, and I'd like actually you to bake those cakes because you do it so much better, and there's a lot of things I would like from you to do for me. And you're like, well, I can do that, but you know what I would like? I would like the deck out behind my house, stripped down and rebuilt and corrected. And I don't want you to do that all by yourself, but if you would, help, if I buy all the materials, would you help me do that and put that together? And in return, I'll bake these things and make this stuff that I do very well for you. So this is what you want. They're not going to offer. You have to ask. That's a fair trade. In my book, that's a fair trade. If they have a series of events over the next couple months where once or twice a week they want you to make all these baked goods for whatever reason, just say you're good at it. And you're like, yeah, you know what I want? I want my back porch redone. I want it stripped down, redone, rebuilt. A couple things have to be repaired and rebuilt. If you come in once a week and you help me do it and show me what needs to be done, if I get the tools and I get the supplies, if I do that for you, if you do this for me, I'll do that for you because I want that done. And Virgo's not usually afraid of work anyway. So you're like, I need somebody to help me. I need somebody to show me that needs to be done. I want that done. So however you feel that trade needs to work out, you know what I mean? You have to ask though. You have to ask. I don't think it's going to come if you don't ask. And I wouldn't feel bad about asking. There's this weird thing about when somebody asks people for help, like they should just accept it and move on. If you need something too, that's the fair balance. Like, they want something from you. Yeah, I'll do that. You know, there's something you could help me with. Would you help me? Like, that's give and take is a fair thing. There's nothing bad about that. I just feel some people have a weird look at that. Like, you know, oh, if somebody asks me for stuff, I feel bad asking them for something in return. I don't know why. It goes right over my head. I'm not saying you have to like have an abacus and balance it to the number, but I'm saying if you need something and they want something for you, fair is fair. That builds a relationship. That builds rapport. That shows like, I'm willing to do that for you. I value you. I want you to value me as well because I need something too. Like, you know, it seems fair. It's a way to keep things, that's a way to keep from getting used too, by the way. If somebody realizes if you need something, you're going to ask for it in return. If they're just looking to use you, they won't approach you, and that's not a bad thing. If somebody's just a user, do you really want that person approaching you anyway? Just to be fair. Because they need you. They need you. I feel like even though it's the Princess of Cups, they need you. They need, like, can you help me with this cup? They can't move forward without you. They really do need you. You have the power. You have the King of Cups. You have the power to do this. This is something where it just seems like you don't have to ask for it if you don't want it, but if you want something better, you should. This is your miracle. It's kind of like you can get an answer, you can move something forward, something maybe that's stressing you, or you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. It's kind of like a point, like maybe you have that deck out back and you're just like, I don't even know. I don't know the first thing about fixing that. I'm not even sure how to get the materials or what materials I should get. This opportunity shows up, that could be the answer that you've been looking for this whole time. You also got the Sun card. I love this card, especially in this deck. I think that's a really beautiful representation of it. I think it's really pretty. This can be your great outcome. This can be, but you have to voice what you want. You have to ask for it. You don't ask, you don't get. From this whole situation, I feel like you can get a lot of healing. It seems like whatever the situation is, you may have felt like you've been out on your own or on your own facing this. You can get rid of that and move forward. You can move forward away from the isolation. You know, you can move forward and that can drop away. Move forward, move on from this. A lot of healing can come, but you know, I'll show one more time because I'm obnoxious. If you don't ask, you don't get. By the way, whoever's helping you not only is willing to help you with the Three of Pentacles, but this might be a great connection. Like, whoever this is, and sometimes people miss this. There are those people out there, and I feel like you match up with them quite well. When you give them some value and you show them that not only do you want their help, but you value their help, it just makes them feel good to be able to help you. Whoever you're allowing to help you, they probably look at you in a very, sincere light. Like, if you're asking, that means you believe in them. You wouldn't just ask anybody. That's how they look at you. You just wouldn't ask somebody off the street, like, well, you look good. Can you fix that for me? I mean, I don't know what you know. I don't know how well you do, so can you do that? You wouldn't do that. You're asking somebody with purpose. It makes them feel good that you're even asking them, assuming this goes right. There's more that comes from this, because I feel like this is somebody you might bond with a little bit stronger. Somebody who loves feeling valued, who loves feeling useful, that also feels like they can be useful and valued by you, but not used. They feel like you're a great person for balance. Like, they'll do for you, you do for them. This is a very healthy way to live life. A very good, healthy way to live life. So you're really giving them more of a gift than you realize, because they feel valued. And that's something I think doesn't everybody want to feel valued? I mean, not for nothing. So this goes really well. I love this. I love this. I was excited when I saw it, but I noticed I'm very tranquil when I'm talking about it, but I feel a lot of like exciting energy, so that's interesting. Anything else? I think we're there. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.